All right, cool. We are recording. Hope you guys are all having a great week. Down here at another conference talking Morpheus and preaching the word of decentralization and decentralized AI. So, going to be a cool couple of days, but it's great to be able to spend time with people sort of really deeply interested in these subjects. But we've got a lot of events actually coming up this month between ETH Denver. Just put it on the calendar for everybody on the 26th, Dawn of Agents. If you haven't RSVP'd for the Luma yet, it's going to be a lot of fun. It seems like there's some great agent events almost every day, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th in Denver. So looking forward to that. It's usually like one of the big conferences every year that we get to really participate in. It was a huge breakthrough for the Morpheus community last year, kind of explaining smart agents to everybody. And now the agent wave is definitely here. So anyway, I'll post something about upcoming events. Kevin, maybe you want to talk about that real quick. I know you were preparing a public event calendar for all the hackathons and stuff going on, but maybe that's a great place to start.
David rejoined. Kevin's having some audio issues, David.
Yeah. Okay. Well, never mind. We'll go ahead and set out that to the community. But pretty much every month there's a big conference and there's a huge focus on agents. There'll be stuff around South by Southwest in Austin. The Agent Builder event is going to come up in April for Decentralized AI Week in Austin. So yeah, just tons of stuff going on. And I just got back from the Coinbase Agent Hackathon, which is really amazing. The tools have come far enough that I was able to, with a couple other developers, shout out to Dom and some other students from Stanford and a cool guy that we met there at the hackathon, managed to pull together Venice's API with open source models, launch a subnet on Morpheus, and connect in Agent Kit from Coinbase, right? And so if you want to check that out, it's up publicly on agentaccess.chat. And you can kind of play with the different reference agents and use staking to the Morpheus subnet as a way of activating those agents. So it was really sort of cool prototype, but the tools are definitely getting to the point where you can have them with easily use them at hackathons at this point. So, but anyway, why don't we Rakshak, you want to kind of kick it off on all things Mor Agents?
Yeah, so I want to start with mentioning the elephant in the room, or I should say the whale in the room, which is DeepSeek. So DeepSeek R1 is massive for us, right? So I would say the biggest thing that agents need is being able to reason, which means coming up with logical conclusions with a problem in a state. And this has been really challenging with the open source models. It's really limited what we could do. But now these limits are pretty much going away, right? And so open source AI was about 6 to 12 months behind proprietary last year, and now it's only like 3 to 4 months behind if you look at when O1 came out versus when DeepSeek came out. So this is absolutely huge for everyone. It's a rising tide that lifts all boats. And what we're doing on the Morpheus front immediately is so there's a Mor Agents application which for the last few months has only been on desktop, so you have to download it and run it on your laptop directly. That introduces some friction, and not everyone's a dev, not everyone wants to do that. So we're gonna have a web app that's gonna be ready by ETH Denver this month, and it'll let people use a dozen or so different agents. A lot of these are Web3 agents that can pull price feeds, they can pull trending crypto news, they can generate tweets for you, chat with PDF. Coinbase trading, swaps, you name it, right? So these are really great agents, and it's really going to help fill the appetite. We're seeing people are wanting more complex agents than just social media posting, like some of the other contemporary projects. And so we've been doing a lot of great work in Morpheus. As someone else said, a lot of great groundwork, and now our job is to get this out in the open. And so Mor Agents will be a web app that anyone can use, just like Venice. And then if someone wants to take those agents, build their own version of that, then they can use a local version of Mor Agents, and that's going to be a forge. So then they can use that to publish it to the Morpheus registry for all the agents. So this is really all coming together. It's really great stuff. And one thing I want to bring up is, even though we're seeing a lot of improvements in reasoning with these models, a core constraint still exists, which is you don't want to give these models private keys. So as more quants and as more automated agents come out that operate on sensitive payment information, what's going to happen is there's a new pattern emerging. It's called MPC, multi-party computation. Coinbase has been really bringing this out and spearheading it. And we found out one of their partners is named Lit Protocol. So Lit Protocol is a decentralized key management service, and it lets you manage a policy. So throwing all the jargon aside, what that means is you can say, hey, I want to trade, I want a quant that reads trending information, reads tweets, and then it makes trading decisions that align with my thesis. But I never want to spend more than $100 a day, or I never want to interact with these chains, or I only want to do this on Base, right? Having these kinds of rules is really important. And no matter how good agents get, you don't want to give them the private key because agents don't have a clear motive or intent. You can't really trust them. And so what'll happen is the agent will go create this transaction for you in the moment it needs to, and it's going to send it off to something like Lit Protocol, which can manage the policy, and they actually hold the keys in a very secure manner, in a decentralized manner as well. So then the trade can finally get executed on whatever swap functionality that you're using. So there's a lot of good pieces coming together, and we're going to want to integrate the Lit protocol into Mor Agents so that people can use all the great Coinbase stuff. And what's really cool is in the future, Lit's going to have the ability to do on-the-fly updates. So for example, let's say there's a really compelling trade, but it exceeds your policy. Maybe it's too expensive. So you'll actually get like a text or an email saying, hey, we found this really good trade. Do you want to pursue it even if it's beyond your limits? And then you can do a temporary authorization for that in the moment with a push notification. So that's some of the stuff that Lit's also building out that we want to integrate with. And everything they're doing is also open source. And since Morpheus is open source, they're happy to contribute code to the repository. So lots of good stuff coming out.
That's really great, Rakshak. Appreciate the big update. I think there's a cool convergence happening with everything that's been built in a network context and all of the local tools that you and the other developers have been building. So yeah, really excited for that web app. Can't wait to try out the agents and also kind of show them off to people without them having to download anything. I think
and it will be responsive. That's the goal. On day one, you'll be able to just use it on your phone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, and then that pulls in the compute router, that pulls in the Morpheus compute subnets, that pulls in demand for everything Ryan and Lumerin and the other main teams have been building. So kind of pulls the pieces together. So
So user comes on the website. So not this month's release, but maybe next month's release and onwards. User will be able to come on. You log in with your wallet. You don't need an email and password. You log in with your wallet, and there'll be a free tier. And then if you want to get more heavy compute, or you want to use more advanced models and agents, you can stake some more. And then that'll use all the builders functionality. And then the user can use the agents. And then when they're ready, if that user happens to also be a dev or a business or a startup, they can look at all the code, copy it, run it, deploy it. And then we also pull in Coinbase. We also pull in things like Lit, and more importantly, pull in all the Morpheus infrastructure. Then they can launch their own agent and then have other people stake to them for that service to be theirs. And then that also then drives more adoption for Morpheus's compute network. So everything's coming together. It's really great stuff.
Yeah, 100%. Awesome. Kevin, do you have audio now? Can you hear us?
Can you hear me now?
Yep, you're good, man.
Okay, great. I think you were asking me to cover some of the upcoming events. Do you want me to jump into that first?
Yeah, man, that'd be great.
Would love to. So there are a lot of events happening now through April that are notable. Morpheus has contributors going to a lot of them. Consensus in Hong Kong is end of this month. We have AI Engineering Summit end of this month in New York. We have some of the game builders in the Morpheus ecosystem at the Game Developer Conference coming up in March. South by Southwest in Austin, Texas. Morpheus will have a booth there, and there's I think an interesting AI builder track where Morpheus will be connecting with some of the community there. So there's a lot of events happening. We have an event going on at ETH Denver, and so a lot of Morpheus contributors. I'm excited to connect with in Denver coming up in a couple weeks here. And let's see what else. And then also we're doing the Mor Agents Builder event. That's in April, and it'll be in Austin, Texas, April 22nd to the 24th. And that'll be the first really Morpheus specific event. We're going to be bringing a lot of the technologies that have been worked on in the past year and kind of bring them all and get them in the hands of builders. And really excited for that one, where we'll be doing a 1-day hackathon with all the tooling. And we're putting that on with Akash and the Deus group, and Venice is also likely going to be joining. We're still kind of firming up details with them.
Awesome, man. Well, I'm sure the big question everybody has is builder subnets. Like that's really taken off. I see a flood of new builder subnets getting approved on the dashboard and listed on there. Can you give us an idea of how that process works? How people are going to discover these new builders and subnets, kind of just walk through that in general, give us an update.
Sure. Yeah. So dashboard.more.org, and then you go to the builders section. That's where everybody can browse the existing subnets that are available today. There are about 50 great subnets up there doing a lot of different things in the decentralized AI space. The process for getting your subnet listed is really, really easy. So it's no code self-service, and it's just a single base transaction. You just have to figure out what you want your name to be. There are a couple parameters that you need to decide around locking claims and how long your stakers have to wait until they're able to unstake. There's some minimum numbers there, but you can do it just in an hour, and then you can kind of reach out on Discord to figure out how to get whitelisted. It's permissionless to have a subnet. But the dashboard itself is a whitelist just to keep it clean for anyone who's going to that front end. And so just reach out in the builder subnet Discord channel, and we can help any projects interested in getting whitelisted there. As I said, we have about 50. There are another 25 kind of in the queue, and it's growing. And this is we're also working on some documentation for builders that covers all this in a little bit more detail. So I'm excited to get the first version of Builder Docs shipped probably middle of next week. And that'll cover all the details around how to get a subnet up, how to incentive align with the Morpheus community to attract stake to your subnet, and then different ways that you can kind of integrate your subnet into the other areas of the Morpheus stack.
Awesome. Sounds good, Kevin. Appreciate you taking us through that. Yeah, that's always an important caveat. Morpheus is permissionless, but at the dashboard level, you want to avoid, scams or impersonators or stuff like that. So having sort of a very light touch, there's no like formal process. It's like, show us you're a legit team and it's a real project, and we'll get you up there on the dashboard. Right. That's kind of the process. Is just avoiding any bad actors is important when it comes to the application layer. So that's good. Cool, man. Bo, give us the good word, man.
Yeah, hey guys. So it's following up on a couple points from last week. I heard back from BaseScan and Arbiscan and filled out a formal token update request. I'm trying to get our tokens contract named on the scan and then also have the logo added. So still fighting that good fight. I know Anton's been trying to, but we will get there with them. It makes it a little bit challenging. If anything, this is a good example as to how decentralized Morpheus is, because if it was a centralized owned project, you could just do it. But the challenge is that we are a decentralized community, and so making changes like this are obviously treated seriously by Arbiscan, Etherscan, all of them. So still working on that. Do you have the request submitted with 1inch as well? I'm waiting for follow up on that. Very excited about the web app announcement, Rakshak. So thank you, because I'm going to be following up and talking with the Ethereum phone project again, because that was a point of conversation earlier in the year, was trying to get Morpheus integrated in the Ethereum OS right away to try to put it in the hands of as many people as possible. And so the web app makes that very, very easy. So that's very cool. Looking forward to that. Speaking of events, Kevin, I know you said that you're going to be planning on having like a publicly available event calendar. We're also planning on publishing that in Week-in Morpheus as well, just as a regular update, so people can, when they're receiving the email, they can keep track of any events that are upcoming. And also on that note, next episode of Brain Power coming out later today. If you are a registered builder or a team or an individual and you want to highlight your project and what you're building to get it out there to the community to attract stakers, get in touch with me. Let's definitely talk about it. I want to provide a platform to highlight as much of the ecosystem as possible. I know there's tons of people out there with more that are looking to put it to work, and the opportunities are really endless in that regard. So thanks, everybody.
Awesome. Thanks, Bo. Appreciate you doing that. All right, Luke, give us the good word, my friend. I saw you were just speaking about Morpheus again at a recent event.
Yeah, I was here in Puerto Rico. There was a Buildle Here. It's a play on the HODL, Buildle Here conference. And thanks to you, Dave, I was asked by the conference organizer to come up with your little cool, I think you call them red pills. I like to call them green pills, but little USB sticks. I think I put a picture in the Discord if you're curious. That's up on Google Drive if you want to grab the files there. But it's basically just the main repo files for the smart agents, for the builder toolkit, and also for the Lumerin consumer side of things. It doesn't have the full installs there because they're like a gig a piece. But anyway, I put little USB sticks there and gave my little 10-minute talk on Morpheus, and really, really well received. Everyone came and grabbed the sticks. I was out of them completely by the end of the conference. A lot of interest as far as people wanting to do their own More 20 as well. I think Kevin and I, we have a call later today with one that I actually talked to on Monday. So yeah, it was fun. Nothing really major to update on my side. There's a couple of videos in the queue. One on the builder toolkit that I want to do, but there's still some. I was working on it last night, getting it to work locally. There's still some questions I have with Scott that he's helping me with. And then the obviously the builder dashboard is a pretty exciting thing, but there's a lot of updates that are coming, so I'm kind of waiting for those updates a little bit if we can. There's also some updates on the Lumerin side with the builder toolkit as well. So it's always a balance between how often do we push out videos and how often we're just going to do an update video a week later because it's changed. I'm kind of fine with doing regular update videos as things change, but these things are just really close from what I've been told, so I'm just kind of waiting a little bit. But either way, yeah, pretty exciting coming along. I love, if you haven't seen it, there's a place to make suggestions now. If you've got suggestions, I'm forgetting off the top of my head what the URL is, but I did a quick little 60-second video on that. So if you're in the community, you have suggestions on how we can improve Morpheus from a user experience or just ideas, things like that. Obviously, you can always say that in the Discord, but it's nice to be able to have a place to just put some thoughts out there. I noticed one of the top rated ones was to have more videos explaining what Morpheus is. So I'm going to try to get to work on that as well. But everything else is going well and everyone's doing great work.
Awesome. Luke, I believe the domain is morpheus.featurebase.app.
That's right.
That sounds correct to me. Yeah, give it a shot.
Awesome. Sounds good. Does anybody need support from any other maintainers? Sounds like we got a lot of stuff coming out relatively soon, and a lot of things are going to debut at ETH Denver. So it should be an exciting month. I think we're all
good. How do you want to do the podcast, Bo? And a lot of the builder subnets have been asking about co-marketing activities. Do you want me to just intro you in a chat? Do you have a form you want them to fill out, or how are you trying to handle it?
Good question. I mean, feel free to definitely make intros directly, but yeah, I can put together a form of some kind for people to fill out as well. Because similar to the dashboard, I just want to make sure that it's people who are building something. That it's a low bar,
Yeah.
but I want it to be people who are really looking to propagate the ecosystem at large.
Yeah, yeah. And then if you go look at the dashboard and there are any projects that you find interesting and you just like kind of want to invite them and bring them on, we can go both ways too. So you let me know
Perfect.
if there's anyone you're interested in meeting with.
Will do. Thank you.
Awesome. Anything else, Kevin?
Nope.
All right, cool. Well, we'll call it there. Appreciate you guys jumping on, giving the community update. And yeah, there's a ton of stuff going on, but I think it's clear that builder subnets is really, really popular. And, just want to put out a big thank you again to Venice for the huge airdrop to the community. And it's really inspired a lot of other groups that have a community or user base and want to create a subnet and do something similar. So, if that sort of describes your project, reach out, love to, use the Morpheus infrastructure for as people stake to you, use that as a good tool for airdrops because it's something that can't easily be Sybil attacked, right? There's some actual cost and skin in the game to stake towards somebody. So it's a really great tool. And obviously Venice used it to great effect. So yeah, really, really excited to see that kind of catching on. And so if you look at the dashboard for builders, there's now a whole column where the builder can describe what the reward is that they're offering. It might be, potential airdrop. It might be NFTs, NOGs, like the guys at Nounspace are giving away. It might be early access to a game. It might be a pro account. It may be API access like CoinCap. There's so many ways these builders can reward users. So, really excited about that. I spent some time going through the whole list and staking towards a lot of the projects that I thought were really exciting. So really encourage people to just go through that process. And, as these rewards pour out, like the community just keeps growing. So anyway, good stuff. I'll talk to you guys soon and we'll take it from there.
Great. Thanks for having us. Bye.
See you guys.
Thanks, guys.
All right.